Team USA posted the official roster for the Americup tournament. I did a prediction video about a week ago of the players I thought would end up making the roster. The three players that did not make the roster were Dariana Littlepage-Buggs, Jelani Cambridge, and Camille Pierre. I'm not too surprised they went with Grace Van Slooten over Dariana. It's something I thought could go either way. I can't fault them for bringing someone back who was on a gold medal squad from the Under-19 tournament a few years ago. I also thought they would pick Jelani Cambridge over Olivia Miles. Olivia is obviously the more talented player, but Cambridge is a much better fit under the Kara Lawson system, and it would prevent them from having to deal with the drama of Hidalgo and Olivia Miles being on the same team. They both have to prove they can put their differences aside. If they don't, I think that could have negative ramifications on the professional level. Regardless if it's truly the reason, if Team USA loses, they will get the majority of the blame. I can understand picking Olivia over Jelani Cambridge. No issues with them going with Grace Van Slooten either. But I have a big problem with Camille Pierre not making this team. I don't understand this at all. This is a horrible decision. She easily would have been the best rebounder on the team, and she is a straight-up bucket. The fact Michaela Blakes is starting for Team USA makes it even more ridiculous that Pierre was left off the team. They have amazing chemistry together, and this is something Team USA really could have took advantage of. I don't think leaving her off is going to be the difference between them winning and losing the gold medal, but it's definitely going to make things a lot harder than it needed to be. As a side note, it's pretty awkward that Ashlyn Jackson did not make the team. She isn't as talented as the guards they ended up going with, but considering she's a big part of Kara Lawson's identity at Duke, that's going to be interesting to see if that has a negative effect when the season starts. But regardless, there's a lot of things to like about this roster, especially the backcourt. The guards in this year's tournament are a massive upgrade from what they had 2 years ago. The 2023 Americup roster didn't feature a single All-American guard, but this year, every guard except Gianna Neepkins and Kennedy Smith was an All-American at least once. And it would not remotely surprise me if she became an All-American next year at UCLA. And these players aren't just All-Americans, they are legit lottery pick level talent. Hannah Hidalgo, Flau'jae, Booker, Olivia Miles, and Michaela are players that will likely go top 5 in their respective draft classes. If we win the Americup tournament, it's without a doubt going to be a guard play. It's Team USA's biggest advantage. I would put these 5 players over anybody, regardless if other people had professional experience. Another big strength of this team will be speed and transition offense. Hidalgo and Flau'jae Johnson excel at causing turnovers, which will lead into fast breaks for their team. Not to mention Olivia Miles is one of the best outlet passers in the game. Hannah Stuelke's biggest strength is her ability to run the floor. Joyce Edwards and Grace Van Slooten are also very good transition players. I touched on this in the previous Team USA video, but this team has a good mix of players that both create their own shot and players that can also score off the ball. I think this is something the last team really struggled with. They loaded the team up with guards who were ball dominant for their respective teams, and it didn't help that none of them could make threes at a high level. I don't see them struggling with any of these things with their new team. This team is stacked from top to bottom. There's basically no talent drop-off between the starters and the bench. This is perfect because if one of the starters is having an off night, someone just as talented can step in and make plays. In the first game against Chile, we got a sense of the type of rotations Kara Lawson is going to end up running. The starting lineup is Hannah Hidalgo, Michaela Blakes, Madison Booker, Joyce Edwards, and Grace Van Slooten. I really like the idea of Hidalgo being the primary point guard, with Olivia being the backup off the bench. And believe it or not, this has nothing to do with Hannah Hidalgo and Olivia Miles' alleged beef. It's because Hannah Hidalgo is much more dangerous as a scorer and facilitator than she is as just being a pure scorer. Her impact on the game is felt a lot more. In other words, she's a lot more effective when she's playing like Skylar Diggins and not Jewel Lloyd. But she's only going to be able to do this if she plays the point guard position. I think Olivia Miles coming off the bench is more valuable for the team because they will need a backup point guard. They could theoretically run Booker as the backup point guard like Texas did her freshman year. But she wouldn't be better at running the point guard position than Olivia. I was very surprised to see Flau'jae Johnson come off the bench, but I can kind of understand it. Talent-wise, she's good enough to start, but they have enough scoring in the starting lineup already. The bench could use a really good offensive weapon like her, and obviously the defense will come with it. I'm very confused by Grace Van Slooten starting over Reagan Beers. I didn't understand her starting in the under-19 tournament, and I don't understand it now. Reagan Beers is a much better player than Van Slooten right now. It's not really a big deal against the weaker teams, but they can't afford not to start Reagan Beers against Brazil. I don't think Reagan Beers can realistically stop Camila Cardoso and Damiris Dantas, but she can at least slow them down so they don't drop 20 on our heads. Even though I have concerns about the center position, I still have faith that Team USA will win the entire thing. I think the backcourt is simply too stacked, and I think the pace Team USA plays at is too much for teams to deal with. But that's it for this video. What do you think about the Team US roster? Are there any changes you would make, and do you believe the Team USA is good enough to win the gold? I'd love to hear your thoughts. As always, thanks for watching.